Welcome to the Nerd Party.
I'm Darren Moser.
I'm Philip Gilfus.
I'm Daniel Prue.
And this is City Alpha 3. Hello and welcome to City Alpha 3, a Star Trek podcast here on the Nerd Party Network. I am Darren Moser, stranded not in Star Trek Las Vegas, here with my fellow strandies, Daniel and Philip. How are you two doing? Daniel already told me the weather is better at his part of the planet than it is where I am. But Philip, how is your weather net holding up? Have the terrorists taken over yet?
Yeah, we've had a little bit of furring in our weather where I am, but I've stayed inside for the most part. I've been watching some TV. The current offerings are The Boys on Prime.
Heard good things.
Yeah.
Haven't seen
it.
It
Was it's just. I mean, I don't think you can't take it, but there's going to be a lot of random violence. It's pretty.
That seems to be normal for television.
Yeah,
nowadays.
it's pretty. I mean, it's like again, I don't want to oversell, but I don't want to undersell it either. So like, there's a lot of people that get covered in blood, often. And there's
I prefer my blood pink and floating in a three-dimensional space.
And there's some equal opportunity nudity, so there's a lot more male nudity than female nudity than in most TV series, but that's fine, whatever. Now Carl Urban is in it, as you probably know from promotional materials. He two different things. One, he has an accent, but it's not his because he's Australian. Instead, he uses this sort of, I don't know, for lack of a better word, Northern London. So think like Jason Statham.
Okay.
So like he's this proper villain kind of accent.
Everything's a pisser, stuff like that.
Okay. Calls everyone the C word. And then there's a flashback.
Cancer.
There's a flashback where, because he has this big beard for the series, but in the flashback he doesn't have a beard, and so it's weird to see Bones talking with this Northern London accent in the flashbacks. So yeah. And then watch the new season of Queer Eye. And also a show I really recommend. I really do recommend to everyone. If you don't mind subtitles, though, or unless you just know Spanish, either way.
I can read, Philip, so I'm good.
La Casa del Papel, or as you'll find it in the English, Money Heist. Oh my gosh, that is like top 5 series of all time. It is a thriller bank heist series, but it's
go on.
There's 3.
I'm enjoying these words.
There's 3 series. The third one just came out, but the first 2 are really like one. Like you would consider it one season, because like if I didn't tell you it was 2 series, you just think it's one big season. Which, going into the 3rd series, I wasn't thinking about that. So then when this episode ends on like everything's looking bad for every character, I'm like, oh my god, all right, what happens in the next episode? I'm like, what do you mean that's the last episode? Flipping tables. And then I was like, oh, series 4 being filmed in
And where is that available? Casa de Familia?
Yeah, you'll look it up. Money Heist is going to be on Netflix. So it's a Spanish show. Oh my god, it's so good. It is so good. It's one of those, it's every episode ends on a edge of your seat. And so like you're going to binge or just drive yourself crazy. But anyway, and it's not crazy amount of episodes being, not American. So. But it's very, very good. So those are my TV recommendations.
What about you, Daniel? Are you what letter and or number are you up to in
2?
your rewatch?
I'm still on. Did I? That's
Or didn't you say you were starting like a Voyager rewatch or something like that? If I recall.
No.
Or that you just turn the TV on and see what happens.
Just BBC America it. At least you'll get something.
I'm pretty sure the last time we brought this up, I talked about the episode I watched. It's the one where Captain Picard gets. It's an A episode. It's where Captain Picard gets abducted. We talked about that, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. That was the last one I've watched. So cut me some slack, okay? I've been busy.
You're good. You're not going to live that long, Daniel, for a time to get through all 700 something.
I mean, you have to watch every Picard episode before you watch Star Trek Picard.
Okay, so here's the thing, and
like a good fan,
I'll tease the next time that I'm going to be running the show, I have a very interesting topic along those lines about what sort of how we can best prepare ourselves for
a primer.
Picard. Yes, indeed.
Picard primer.
The Picard primer episode is already.
That's right. So keep in mind for that, and maybe I'll be starting that watch soon as well.
And then we'll prep the Picard primer.
You're always preparing. Just go.
Just go. I guess it's more Star Warsy, but I did watch Spaceballs this last week because you got to watch it, and it's such a good show.
$2
got Tim
in
Russ
it.
in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It does. Yeah. No, it's a lot of fun. I've been continuing my Farscape, not rewatch, but watch for the first time, and that's been enjoyable. It's oh man, it's still out there. There's like episodes where like, oh, this main character's been doubled, and then you're like, but where did the double go? Like he literally just disappeared. Oh, he went over here. Oh, okay. Like it makes sense, but it is a wild ride. But it's been good. But today we are going to be talking about Star Trek logos, all the split Delta shields we could get. But no, I realized that one of the things that is awesome about Star Trek is it's this other world. It's this future. And what does future, other worlds need? They need identifiable marks. They need logos for
You need to
planets
slap a
and
label on it and
peoples.
sell it and sell it.
Well, you're not wrong, Philip. I mean, I think CBS would like to sell. They're investing heavily in the Delta Shield. We'll be getting to that pretty soon. But no, I think besides favorite logos, logos that we feel, what do we feel from them? Which ones do we think kind of the art department took a holiday on? Things like that. So I wanted to start off not. I know you're thinking Delta Shield. I mean, I'm even wearing a Delta Shield right now. It's too easy. We're gonna start with an easy one, with the Ferengi Alliance logo, aka a pictograph of a Ferengi ear. This is, I
didn't see that at all. I thought it was.
Yeah, I've never thought of that as the Ferengi ear. That's weird.
I thought it was a person swimming, but
No. What?
You thought a person? This is good stuff, guys. I'm glad we're recording.
I always thought, which is what it is that it's the Ferengi idea of economics, that one person eats thing and then a bigger person eets that, and it's all of the.
I can see that too. So like the circle's the inner, like the planet, and then it's being eaten by another
enterprising
thing, and then it's been
entrepreneur.
eaten by another thing.
Yeah.
I see that too. I do see the swimmer. I think the Olympics aren't really coming up yet, but
it rains a lot
this
there.
has a contender for. It does. He's kind of like he's got like a force shield around him as he's swimming along this line.
He's hydroplaning. He's just going so fast that all the water is going around his body.
So, now I'm never going to be able to see a Ferengi ear again. I'm only going to be able to see an Olympic swimmer swimming to the right. But
it's like when you see that arrow in the FedEx thing,
that.
Assembly will never go back.
That's true. Yes. Don't ruin it for Daniel. But the Ferengi Alliance, their ships kind of look like it. Maybe they're they're curvy like that, but they also have that tattoo on their forehead. Some do, with the Ferengi brand. But it's an interesting. It's simple. You can tell what it is. Apparently not, and it's. I think. We don't see it a lot because we don't see. We do see a lot of Ferengi episodes, but it's not necessarily like we're on Ferengi ships.
I imagine that we don't
often.
see it a lot because the licensing fee to use it on Ferenginar is probably crazy high.
So you have the mark of the government, but they literally don't use it because the mark of the government costs so much to license.
There's no way they don't charge for it. You absolutely have to pay money to do it. So,
is it like the stamp tax where they just put that logo and everything to tax? And so, though I guess
that's exactly what it's like.
Okay, this is outside the. But what is the government of Ferenginar? Because it can't be a government that we would. Because I don't know.
Well, it's got an emperor.
No,
right?
the Grand Nagus.
Negus. Who's a Negus?
Yeah, but it's an oligarchy, right? Because I mean, he's just the chief business, like he's the biggest buyer, or he's the biggest businessman,
right?
So it's not like I don't think they have taxes. I don't know how it works. Bribes. I don't know. So.
Well, it definitely has bribes. Bribes are a part of the government process that we see when he go.
They are a core belief.
Yeah.
I was trying to remember when Quark was on Ferenginar for I can't remember what, and he had to go to some official office, and he had to like pay the money into the bin in order to like get inside or something.
Right, you step in and you put your money inside the slip, like you literally just stepped in.
Yeah. Well, because I was just thinking, like, it's almost counter to what we see for Starfleet. Like, because with Ferengi, we see very few, for lack of a better word, government employees. We usually see private traders, which, I mean, like I said,
we see Brunt.
Yeah. But I mean, like, it's not.
But besides him,
because even most of the ships, or what few we do see, are either civilian traders, for lack of a better word, or
laser whip salesmen,
or they're outside of the government structure. Like Next Gen would probably be the best example of when you actually see official Ferengi marauders. But like, did we ever see a Ferengi marauder in Deep Space Nine? I mean, that's a stupid question, but I'll ask it anyway.
I mean, we see Quark's shuttle.
But that's not.
But I don't think we ever saw a full marauder.
Yeah, because that's just a ship he bought. Like, that's not a Ferengi ship. It's just a ship owned by a Ferengi.
Look, his cousin Gala has a whole moon. Who knows what shape that's in? All right. Oh, that went deeper and wider than I even thought, and I was just getting us warmed up. This is good, guys. Next, we are gonna go to the pointiest of logos, the Klingon Empire logo, and this has got a circle in it, and there's kind of 3 curved kind of blades coming out of it. It's very striking. It looks sharp. I don't know if I want to touch it.
Well,
kind of reminds me of
like in America, in the morning, you'll have government will put the flag up and hoist it up the mast or whatever. With the Klingon logo, it actually you see the 2 points in the morning, and then someone has to come out and press the button, and that top one comes out. So,
and then they put their blood on it
in the evening,
just for good measure. Well, it makes me think of the Klingon duck togs, the little daggers with the 2 spikes that jab out. And so it's like, so you're saying their flag is transformative, not only
it's more than meets the eye,
but yeah. But no, it's, I mean, again, it's a symbol we've seen for years, but and at least you know which way is up. I believe. I think it's the pointy bit. Yeah. But what do you think of the Klingon? How it's no specific house. Apparently, there's only 3 houses that were important or something when they founded this.
Are those even representative of houses? I don't know. I can't imagine.
I don't. Yeah, I doubt it. I'm sure one stands for honor, and
tradition.
One stands for tradition, and one stands for
Targs.
The warrior spirit. Targs. It's a cornerstone of our people. Daniel,
Songs.
The Targs. Songs.
So, but I'm looking at the logo you're presenting, and there's 2 ways to look at it. Either one, there's a V that sort of is subsumed in there for victory, or it's a shooting star inside of its case, and you just take it out and.
It does kind of look like you could throw it for sure, like how
like it was like a ninja star.
Yeah, like how Batman turns his symbol into batarangs. You could totally throw
Klingon rings.
Klingon ninja star. That'd be You know what? That's probably what it started as. It was like an oversized comm badge, but you could also take it off your uniform and chuck it at your enemies.
Now I'm just imagining Klingon Batman. Like this big
Klingon
the huge
Batman.
Disruptor, except
Klingon man.
Except it shoots out onto like something to climb buildings with, and, the batarang, and so.
So does he have a code of not killing? Nope. His code is to kill everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Klingon Batman is a great idea for a short story.
Now I'm trying to think, what would his Robin look like?
It'd be probably one of the enslaved subspecies that are part of the Klingon Empire.
And just
like the jet buoys.
The Batmobile has to sort of change its configuration to be in warrior mode, so it has the flat And then when it's
No,
getting
it's
to
always
attack.
in warrior mode. There is no change.
And there's her cloaking device on the Klingon Batmobile.
So it's like his name is like Katag. Katag.
Slash. Kill. Point.
Honor.
Now I'm going to create all the villains for that.
Oh man, that's a whole thing into itself. Yeah.
Yeah. So So man. Okay. Now we got another episode coming up later. We're going to talk about the exploits of Katag.
The animated series.
What? And Robin. It's just stick straight Robin. No. All right. Now, this is a juicy one. I always really like this one. Now, for 10 points, does anyone know what this logo is?
Of course. Daniel. It's
Okay,
Daniel's.
Well, I mean, yes, Daniel. Yeah.
Yeah.
what's
I mean,
this
it's
one?
obviously the Romulan, which is I
Yes,
always thought was
the
a
Romulan Star
a
Empire.
little too busy. I mean, I get it, with the Romulus and Remus stuff. It's just a little. I feel like the background isn't necessary. There's some element of it that's not necessary. I like it. It's cool, and I really like the color scheme, the green and the blue.
It's very intense.
Yeah. It's always come off to me as just a little too heavy-handed, which all right, fair enough. Maybe that's appropriate for the Romulans.
So for our listeners, it kind of looks like a alienish bird
Bat.
with bat wings and two talons that are holding two planets captive over a triangle. And I remember I always saw it a lot because whenever like Tom Walk or someone signed off, it was always like their closing screen, like,
screensaver, yeah.
Yeah. Desktop.
end transmission from the Romulan Star Empire.
I wonder what that writing on the top means. I mean, it's obviously Romulan-ish. So.
It's the copyright. It's really important.
That's a great question.
Because I've never actually paid attention to Romulan-ish. That's not what you say, but I'm just calling it that. Before,
Yeah.
like I would recognize Klingon if I saw it, or Klingonese. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't really know what if you put a Romulan
Is it like
script in front
Is
of
it like
you.
a restaurant established in 2142?
Since 2142, the Romulan Star Empire. The originals, not that one on Jersey Street. This is the original.
Is it like
Star
when they had to
Empire.
call it the real Ghostbusters because the other one sold the
gosh,
Ghostbusters?
don't get me started. Yes.
Well, but then this is so. I mean, it's indicative of sort of the secret. Well, of course, we learned about this, so it's a retcon, but still, we're going to go with it. That it's.
Oh, like the Tal Shiar.
Well, no, I was going to say it's the Romulan Star Empire with Romulus, but there's Romulus and Remus. They're twin systems, but we still call it by the one name. We don't call it
It's not the Remus Star
or the
Empire.
Romulus Remus, and so it's a little like.
So which one is the planet that's being held tighter on the claws? Is that Romulus or is that Remus?
Left or right? I don't know.
Maybe that's what the first war was
Well,
about. is
I'm looking
which
at your
one.
logo that the listeners can't see. There's one that has a bottom claw, so I'm going to assume that's Remus.
Right. I think that's the type. Yeah. That's like, it goes tight. And this one, it's like gently supporting.
lovingly
flight.
held.
Now, a later logo that we got in Deep Space Nine was the Bajoran symbol, which is a really interesting symbol. And again, we see it a lot because, they build it into, it's their comm badge. They have it on their, the orbs. It's like everywhere. And it's like, a concentric series of ovals with a center bar and a circle at the bottom.
A time tunnel at the
But
bottom.
it's just, and a little spirograph going on. But it's, I really like this design. It's very, it's calming. It's got a lot of curves and, but it really, I think in the opposite of like the Ferengi logo, this one we saw everywhere. So it was just very, emboiled inside our psyche.
Now,
I mean-
is it the official icon of Bajor? I suppose it is because it's on their uniforms.
I believe it is. I think I read somewhere that there's some slight variations. Like one actually represents like the government, and one represents like kind of like how the Federation has the Delta Shield, slight variances for certain things, but it mostly always looks like this.
Yeah, because the question is that the Bajoran military or is it the Bajoran government?
Yeah, there is a
Just like there's a difference between Starfleet and the Federation.
One for the Bajoran military, yeah. Yeah, I believe there are a series of different logo types, so they all kind of go on the same, the same concept. Doesn't change too much. Yeah, they even have like a rank structure around it, which is, if there's anything more confusing than Pips, I'd say this is it. It's like left side, right side, double side, upside. And I think these are like tiny, like on their neck, because that's this major. This would be like what Kira has.
I've never noticed it, to tell you the truth.
I didn't even know they had one. Oh yeah, I guess they do have one on their neck. Okay.
I mean, I guess she does have something on her collar. Major Kira is who I'm talking about, of course. But I've just never.
Well, kind of like how a lot of people never noticed O'Brien's little petty officer.
I noticed.
He's got on his neck. But yeah, no, if we want to go that deep, we can.
But even the Bajoran symbol, in and of itself,
yeah,
I don't think I recognize it per se. I just like sort of that golden blob, for the comm badge, but like never having, there was no, Major Kira resignation scene where she put it on the table and they focused in on it.
I just think of when they went to the temple, because there was like a big stained glass one, I think, in the temple.
Well, that's why it's confusing. I mean, I know that their government and religion are pretty interchangeable, but it's still surprising that you would see it like that. But I guess, okay, maybe for Bajor it makes sense.
Well, I think they actually have a provisional logo, and so they're going to come out with a new one as soon as that government is official.
Is there a separate logo for the Kai? Because there's got to be.
Yeah, you got to assume like has her own flag or something, just like the Vatican.
Yeah, I believe this logo that we see is for the Bajoran Republic, which is basically representing their people. But yeah, no, it's an interesting one.
Yeah, because I think, don't quote me, but I think there is some sort of like Hindu or just some sort of one of the Eastern religions sort of with the wheel and something like that.
It could be.
I'm not an expert.
Well, speaking of round logos, the United Federation of Planets logo, and I'm going from the one from Next Gen Time, which is a little bit adjusted. Now, this one has had a tumultuous history. Sometimes it has a cog around it, and sometimes it doesn't. But this one I always liked the best. It has a large laurel wreath circling it and 3 key stars. Like, if ever I was drawing, the United Federation of Planet logo, I would always, the circle, the leaves, and the 3 stars, and then a bunch of random stars. Like, you could, a child could draw this.
Now, because
it passed the focus groups.
Now, this is the one that I actually have as a tattoo. So I know this one well.
Ooh.
The only and it's actually, I don't know, because it depends on your tattoo artist, right? So it's because they said they couldn't do white, so it's sort of like the way they did it was sort of black and blue,
like a silver.
Well, not even. Yeah, they kind of maybe kiss the leaves, but it's really just black and blue for the most part.
Just make it clear, and your whiteness will shine through.
But the stars, and because it's on my arm, I can only twist my neck so much. But I think they did it pretty well. But as an actual what it represents, because this one is the one we know most about. There's a problem with the logo for me, anyway. So it always confused me about the founders of the Federation. So we know it's Earth, right? Vulcan, right? Andor, and Talar. But there's only 3 major stars. Shouldn't there be 4?
Here we go. Big ol' gear. I hate the gear so much. I don't know. And then you have the older one from like Kirk's time.
Wait, I thought there were 5 founding. Are we missing one?
No, Earth, Vulcan, Talarites, Andorians.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, thinking back, that's kind of.
But there's only 3 major stars because I thought the stars were supposed to represent the founding members.
Do we know?
So who got the boot? I'm sure Earth and Vulcan made it. So is it Andor or Talar? That's the.
If Star Trek canon is anything to go by, it's definitely Talar that's left behind. Philip, you may have, permanently got this on your body, but this is also my Xbox profile picture, so I'm also very familiar I'm just saying. No, I love the especially this version of it. I love it as well. And I was actually going to ask if we knew what the three brightest stars are supposed to be.
Yeah, that's what I thought they're supposed to be, but we're missing one. I mean, I actually have this flag. I mean, I use it sort of as my closets don't have a door in this room, so I use it as sort of a closet covering. So I have an actual UFP flag here, and it looks exactly the same. It's the big 3 stars.
I mean, we know it's roughly based on the United Nations logo.
It's the same thing. So yeah, you just put up the universe instead of the Earth.
I mean, it's literally that. But yeah, I can't seem to track down what the 3 stars are supposed to be. I always felt like, I mean, I'm glad they have the 3 stars because it helps you kind of visualize, like, again, if you're just doing a child's sketch of it, you had the 3 stars and you had a bunch of random ones and then you're good. But maybe they're unnamed so that another war doesn't start out. So
Everyone thinks they're the 3rd star and not the 4th star, and so,
Memory Alpha has a little blip here. It says, in Star Trek Enterprise, it was stated that the 3 brightest stars were the stars of Vulcan, Andoria, and Earth. However, if this is the case, there should be a 4th bright star, as Tellar is also a founding member.
Okay, what if it's Tellar, Vulcan, and Andor, and Earth is just the whole circle because it's all about us.
The Earth is where you're viewing this from. We're the ones holding the camera because we hold the whole Federation
on our soil.
So
there you go.
Hey, this is actually pretty interesting. Michael Kuda said in the early days of TNG, it was thought that the 3 bright stars might represent Earth, Vulcan, and the Klingon homeworld because during the early days, they weren't sure if the Klingons had joined the Federation or not. So then afterwards, they just kind of left it how it was. But that was the idea.
I mean, it's one of those things you just never explain because
I can get it where like Talar was supposed to be the 4th one, but they kept arguing about how big their star was going to be, which direction it was supposed to be on, and they're like, "Look, this goes to print tomorrow."
They're like, "It's got to go right in the middle." It's like, but artistically, that doesn't look good. No, right in the middle.
I am not important. I will not sign this contract to join your Federation.
You could easily fix it by just saying they're not supposed to be actual stars, that they're representative star. The Star of Hope and the Star of Cooperation and
Star of Peace.
Yeah, this star, this
with our stars combined.
This Federation is brought to you by the Star of G, or whatever. That kind of thing.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
And heart.
But that they would have a reason for it. Like the number of leaves in the branches, it has to have a meaning. It can't just be random.
And I'm trying to remember, was it Nemesis or First Contact that had kind of the cool Federation animation for the logo when the communication changed? It only happened once, but it was so cool. I don't know why they don't do it every time.
It's like the circle comes in and then the branches go up and the stars like light up and it was like doo doo doo. And it's like, oh, this is.
I was like, why don't you do that every time? I was like, oh.
Look, Federation marketing finally caught up and they're like, hey Bob, what would be a great idea? What, Bill? Oh, let's do this. Okay, so we're gonna go to one more simple one before we tackle. Actually, no, we're gonna veer off. Okay, this one.
I know what it is, but I think I call BS.
Yes. Yeah, I don't. This is the Borg logo.
The official Borg government.
The only place we see this is in Descent 1 and 2, where the Power Rangers have vacated the Palace of Power, and the Borg, run by Lore, have a flag. No flag, no country. They follow those rules. And it's like this claw eye thing. And it also was on the base of the Borg action figure from Playmates. What it looked like this as well. Because all the bases, I mean, like the regular bases look like the Star Trek comm badges. But I would have thought of if I think Borg, this is not what comes to mind.
Or it's not a positive one considering what they were trying to form. Because it looks like it's the Borg claw and there's a Ferengi marauder trying to escape from it.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's very unsymmetrical for what I was expecting.
From the Borg, especially.
Yeah, I mean, I would have expected some sort of like cube tesseract thing.
I mean,
or a circle,
triangle.
It's just crazy talk, Philip. You know, Borgs don't like triangles. Yeah, but it does not speak Borg to me.
You know what? Maybe it does because it looks like a logo formed by committee, and that's
it. It does. Like, this is version 12, and version 2 was where they should have stopped, but they didn't.
But they had a lot of voices, so.
What do you think of the Borg logo, Daniel?
I think the most important thing to remember is, why do the Borg need a logo?
Look, they have an image problem. When you have an image problem, you start with branding. Everybody knows this.
I'm just saying, it's not like a reason.
No, it's Borg with umlauts over the O. We're different.
Borg. Oh, jeez.
You know, no matter what you do with the Borg, and I guess we'll see this with Picard, no matter how you handle the Borg, they should never have, like, a seat at the table. They should never be people that you're negotiating with. They should never have an...
Tell that to Janeway.
Yeah, I guess.
Even if
she pretty much did exactly the opposite.
They don't sit at the table. They stand in the alcove.
They shouldn't have an ambassador or something. So
the Borg ambassador. You mean Locutus?
Yeah. He was more of a...
You mean Seven?
Yeah, no. Locutus was more of a herald than an ambassador.
Are you saying he was Silver Surfer?
My board, come to me. I'm just picturing Locutus Silver Surfering his way in front of the cube. Like, lead me to Earth. Yes, my lord.
I mean, you know, Patrick Stewart is bald. It does kind of work.
It writes itself.
So
he's actually riding this logo as a surfboard. Is this logo?
Herald of Locutus.
So I don't know.
Man.
It's like a thing that kind of exists in the background and stuff, but it's not like at the forefront like it is for a lot of other of the races and stuff. So it's weird to me that it's a thing at all. But I guess okay, I guess.
I know our listeners can't see it, but your thing here, Darren, reminds me. This is like a 21st century like eye chart. So it's like I see Federation,
Better
Ferengi, Vulcan. All right, let's try the other eye.
Oh wait, so let's talk about the Cardassians. Now, theirs basically looks like their ships, and their ships look like their logos, and their logos look like them, and it's very on brand, guys. They know how to make everything look the same. But it was always an interesting, kind of hooded, snakish, logo. And I always liked the little bit of imbalance, like you had the dot on one side and the line, and it was very menacing. Although the only thing more menacing than that was the Obsidian Order, like ghost silhouette of that logo, which terrified
Well,
me.
it's interesting because when I look at the Cardassian logo, which you said is on brand, which, I initially, because of what, we know the Cardassian, it looks like a Galore class ship. But then when I really look at it, it looks like a penguin on a unicycle, like an angry penguin on a unicycle.
It does.
You know what it looks like? From Tailspin or Darkwing Duck, I can't remember. The robot.
Is it Gizmo Duck?
Is it Gizmo? The robot duck that was on the wheel. Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
That's
DuckTales.
Gizmo Duck. It does kind of look like Gizmo Duck.
Yeah.
Now voiced by Lin-Manuel Miranda.
They had a branding problem. Yeah.
Oh, is that true? Is he doing it for the new show? That's funny.
Because then the Shadow Penguin is the Obsidian Order.
The Shadow.
The Shadow Penguin to me looks like kind of a mix between Boba Fett and Samus from Metroid.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it does. Metroid. That is a good,
I've never seen that before. Is that actually canon? Is that in Star Trek?
Yes. Oh. Yes, it's what the Obsidian Order looks like.
Okay.
I would think like the Garrick episodes probably.
Yeah.
But,
Big T Obsidian Order. I think this was an interesting logo. Again, looks like their ships. And to an extent, like thinking back to the Klingon ships, you had the Katinka class kind of looks like the logo in a way.
In a way.
The rough shape, yeah. Next series, all ships have to be built like their logo.
No.
Well, we do have
got a leg up
saucers
on
for
us.
the Federation, so we keep with the ovals.
Yeah, it's round. Yep.
No,
see?
that feels lazy.
So, carrying that one step further, we have the what did they call it? I think it was the Alliance, the Mirror Universe Alliance. So this was when we go back to the Mirror Universe in Deep Space Nine, and the Klingons and the Cardassians, basically all the aliens, have joined and co-opt to fight against the Terran Empire and are kicking their butts. And it's this weird, like, winged Cardassian logo with the Klingon Empire at the base. It's pretty cool looking, but it's really busy. Like, this is definitely the committee logo.
Oh, I've never looked at it that closely. I mean, I remember seeing it, like, because it's way on the back on Worf's ship.
Yeah, it was like behind Worf's ship. Yeah,
But I never saw the Cardassian part until now. I'm looking at it, of course, next to the Cardassian logo.
And I think
it's also
the attendant had it on her chest thing.
Right.
I think it was like in the middle, like that. I think.
Though I'm going to throw this out there. Looks like Cardassian Klingon Batman, because those are some.
You know what? It actually could just be a symbol for
That
that could just be Klingon Batman. If you took all the
Could be
context
Klingon
out
Batman.
of it. Yeah.
Oh man, Klingon Batman and his sidekick, Snake Boy.
No, it probably would be Targ, because Robin's a bird, so it would just be Targ.
Are the wings supposed to be Romulans?
I would guess
Romulans?
so.
I thought that, but I think the Romulans are gone in the Mirror Universe. Like they've been taken out by the Federation or something. Because I looked it up, and it's just those two species.
Okay, I don't remember.
No, I just want that symbol
speaking-
on Worf wearing a cowl. So that's all.
Well, and then speaking of Mirror Universe logos, we have the Terran Empire, which is basically a dagger through the earth.
Which is a mixed message.
Real subtle. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you're holding up a dagger to yourself. I'm gonna do it, guys. Stay away.
Yeah.
Like, what are you saying?
Subtlety not their strongest suit.
Is that a Blazing Saddles reference? I'm gonna kill him. Load it.
Exactly. And then we have the Jem'Hadar signature. I guess.
I mean, it's the Fount. It's
kind
the
of
Fount, or it's the Dominion.
Yeah. Oh, the Dominion. Yeah, it's like a little L with a diamond. It's
Different.
really subtle. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what it's. I don't know how to interpret it. Is it like that? It's holding. Is it half a thing? Like is it just they cut off half the logo due to budget cuts?
Oh, so like below it is like the domineering foot of the.
Well, I was just saying if you
Founders.
mirror that,
But that was too.
it looks like
too,
an X-wing or
upsetting.
something.
I don't even recognize this from Star Trek at all. I didn't realize this was a thing.
Yeah, because
I guess-
you don't see a lot of founder. They're usually on a Cardassian or a Breen ship.
I think it's a couple of yeah, it's on the wall in a couple places, and I think it's in some of their communications, but it's really subtle. And we have Vulcans with their IDIC, Infinite Diversity and Infinite Combinations, aka we can't mirror it, but we got to tilt it triangle circle.
Now this, I believe, is supposed to be Mount Seleia.
Oh, I think you're right.
With the sun or moon, possibly some sort of body over the mountain. And
Vulcan has no
But
moon.
as Uhura pointed out, Vulcan has no moon.
so it's the sun.
Hey, this is not on screen very frequently. I mean, if I remember right, Star Trek.
If anything, it's a medallion around Spock's neck a couple
Yes,
times.
so Star Trek 3 is the big one, but other than that,
Well, the original series.
is it in the original series? I can't
He
remember.
actually wears the necklace.
Yeah,
Because they're
okay,
trying to
yeah.
sell him some merch.
Okay, but I feel like after that we don't see it
Correct.
pretty much at all.
Yeah. Their branding game is weird.
I am surprised.
They're the Vulcans. Everybody knows who they are.
I'm surprised by Vulcan standards that it's tilted. They seem a very, symmetrical, grounded species. So this looks like evil Vulcan to me, like Impact Nor.
That was look. That was one of the infant combinations, Philip. And I just went with it. Okay.
Kind of when you're I don't know. I'm trying to remember when like I edit photo on my iPhone or something, and you bring up the photo to edit, and it just sort of tilts itself like a couple degrees. And you're like, no, stop. I think that's what happened when they were.
Oh yeah, and you're like, no, I didn't want
Yeah,
that.
I think that's what happened when they saved this logo.
All right. Well, it's time to wrap up with the Delta Shield. You've all been waiting for it. The symbol of Starfleet. Although it began not as the quite symbol of Starfleet, it was more something that came about because of the exploits of Captain Kirk and that amazing crew. One of the things that fans of the original series know is that all, at least Constitution-class ships, had their own logo on their uniform. And so the Enterprise had the Delta Shield with the, corresponding starburst or spiral
Philip,
or circle.
Philip, do you want to tell him about Discovery, or should I?
Look,
I mean, to be sure.
I'm just
now, this is quote unquote controversial, Darren. What you just said, you realize, right? There are some who say
Constellation
not
has a different different.
Well, there are
logo.
some who say, not me, that actually, according to the powers that be, in black and white, every starship has the same logo. Now, I don't believe that, but that is a.
But they
Well,
don't. Like we literally
I
see
believe you, Darren,
episodes
but there are people who will argue.
where the Constellation
People you know
has a different logo on their shirt.
and have done podcasts with. But yes. So, but my
I mean, look at this one. The Excalibur's a freaking sword. How awesome would that be to have on your? And I'm guessing the Intrepid is a Vulcan ship. Just throwing it out.
well, we
there,
never saw it,
not
but it
sure.
died. That was the one where it exploded, and then Spock's like, I just sensed the death of 100 Vulcans or something. So yeah.
Yeah.
Now
Yorktown, little basic, just a triangle, keeping it simple.
the Discovery one is still technically a Delta Shield, but because they do the 2/3 split, it's still its own unique logo.
Yeah, that's
True.
stretching, but sure, we'll go with that.
Right.
Maybe they all have like a template and they get to play with it like a tiny little bit.
Oh, they played with it a lot. Look at these. Look at these.
Well, I don't know
Daniel.
where-
I mean, they're
I
like.
We
honestly
didn't
don't
see
know-
all these. We saw two
I
of
don't-
these. We
I
saw
don't
the
know where
Defiant,
this. Yeah,
and we saw
That's
the
true.
Exeter. Maybe we saw the
We
Constellation.
saw the Constellation.
Too? Okay.
Yes, I know there's.
That's all I got.
I'm not. I'm not
And
sure
we've
what the
seen the
source is
Defiant.
on this because a lot of it looks
Okay,
like
so
word art.
3 out of 12. Okay. Well, that's true. And then you have someone else who could make something up just as much with whatever, except for the ones we know, like the Constellation. But yeah, back to that. So we get the traditional, with the 3 logos on the inside. Then in Next Gen we had the awesome circle behind it, which
Or Halo. It's a ring, possibly, depending on
Halo,
your.
yeah. Or maybe it's oval like the Enterprise D saucer.
That's true.
Or they couldn't fit all the electronics for the comm badge inside just the Delta Shield, so they had to add a little back plate. But then we get the awesome, 2-bar. I don't know if it has an official.
Yeah, I feel like it should because
Just a year.
I mean, personally, even though I'm a die-in-the-wool TNGer, if you put a phaser to my head, I would say, as far as Starfleet logos, I do love my Voyager, First Contact, Deep Space
The 2-bar.
Nine. Yeah, I don't know.
It's had the longest run. I mean, we see it
I
everywhere.
mean, and I don't know what to think about it. Or in other words, I don't know what the symbol is. So, like the circle, it's pretty plain Jane. We just, as you said, it's Delta Shield placed against the circle, and it kind of made sense with the comm badge, right? And so,
kind of makes me think of like captain's bars.
yeah.
For some reason, like in the military. But it's a good point. Like, where did it come
I
from?
mean, what was the thought about we got to, because if I remember correctly, and correct me if I'm wrong, Generations was the first time we saw it. And then I don't know what the thought was about why. I mean, I get the thought. It's a movie. We want to make everything pop and look different. But yeah.
a good point. We have to track.
But as
that
like
down.
a screensaver, like I'm talking about, like in the 24th century Starfleet usually they use the Federation, so it's a moot point. But like
right.
as far as like silhouette, if I can use that word, the circle looks better than the bar as a silhouette. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But anyway, it's moot. So that's just being picky there.
Which do you like better, Daniel? The circle or the bar?
I think I'm honestly split between the two. The circle.
Deciding vote, Daniel. You gotta let us know.
The circle is obviously classic TNG, so it has a special place in my heart. But the bars are much cleaner for me, and I think they're a more distinctive silhouette overall. So I'd probably lean towards the bars, but I think both. The thing I like too about the bar one is that it gets closer to the classic Delta shape, whereas the circle seemed to have kind of shifted that center piece in the middle more, whereas all other Star Trek versions are always hanging to the right there a little bit. So.
No, that's a good point, and I don't know if the example I had was just not rendered very well, but I don't think it shifts too much. But it's a little more pointy.
Yeah, a little fatter on the
than
bar,
is.
and I think it's
Now, I was gonna say, I also, I mean, I really liked the alternate future rank bar badge. I think I did not care for the split background house silhouette. That is too far.
See,
too
I
far.
actually disagree.
But,
for one thing, your alternate future one doesn't really exist. That was the mosquito faux future. But this is, I mean, canon alternate future is the 2-bar you don't like. But I like it because it's the bar of DS9 turned vertical and split. So I mean, it's intending to show an evolution, but still staying in the same universe.
I could see that. I mean, it's not terrible. I just really like the rank pips being built into the badge.
Yes.
I think that was really in a way you could see.
I was about to say you have to do the corollary
far
under
away.
Discovery.
Yeah, but it's a little too busy, I think.
It is. I mean, I'm not saying it's my favorite. I'm just saying I like the design.
I'm just saying it makes whereas the other comm badges you just mass replicate them, don't have to worry. But then it's like, oh, are you an ensign or a Lieutenant JG, or and then you got to turn in your comm badge when you get promoted. It's so much work.
And that'd be cool though when they promote them instead of like
Rip
taking off the tiny pips, they take off the badge and put the new.
So by the
one
way,
on.
when I was in the Army, and rank placement did change when I was in the Army because uniforms changed just like they do in Starfleet. Because when I first joined, your rank was on your collar, much like Starfleet. But then eventually it navigated to the middle of your chest. And so, Army being like Army AM, they when you get promoted, assuming gender works out for you in the correct way, they're going to pound that thing in when they promote you. So when it went from your collar, no big deal. When they're going for the stomach, that was a different, like, bam, depending on your commanding officer or whatever. But I'm imagining with Starfleet, so you take that.
So was it like under the pocket?
No, it was actually
where?
a Velcro. It's like your zipper thing, and in the middle, there's a Velcro square, and that's where you put your rank, so it covers up and look natural.
Yeah, that seems.
But
not a good spot.
Yeah,
but that's just me.
But it's like with Starfleet, so they take off your comm badge as ensign, and the lieutenant junior grade just smack it on your chest there. Promoted.
Yeah, and then the only other one we have is the what is it? The 29th century, where we see on the time ship, where it's kind of like the ChronoWorks logo. It's really big and not nearly as interesting.
I've never looked at it that closely. It is a horizontal delta shield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it looks like just like a cracked diamond or shard or something.
Yeah.
But I guess.
Well, and then we have the confirmed visitor badges from Picard now, which look. I remember I was joking with that, and then clearer screen caps came on. It literally says the word "visitor" on it, and I'm like, "Wow, that's everything I wanted."
It's a little too on the nose for having been in government work, but
But yeah, so this was fun to discuss all the different, shields. Some we didn't know, we didn't understand the symbolism behind, but again, that's one of the things I really like about Star Trek is just all the thought that went into these. Like, you can tell a dedicated art team was deciding, how does this work? Or, the Obsidian Order should look like the logo but different, like a shadow behind the main logo. And do either of you guys have a favorite of the ones we've looked over?
I mean, is there one that I would permanently ink to my body? I'm just trying to think.
That's true. Maybe I set you up for this question, but
Well, I mean, I think the interesting part about the logos is, especially if you're creating a race for the first time, like the Founders, for example, with the Klingons, I don't think we ever saw a logo in the TOS, to my knowledge.
I believe it first showed up in the animated series.
Okay. Oh, really? That early?
Interesting. Yeah. Okay.
But you sort of have to put the character.
But canonically,
surprise! It was pink.
Canonically, when did it first show up? That's
there
the question.
is.
No, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. It was pink. But yeah,
you have to sort of create the characteristic of that in a logo, and which I'm sure every graphic artist, that's their whole intent. But there's a lot going there, and sometimes you get it right, sometimes you get it wrong, just like everything else.
Yeah. No, I think it. They started to do things where it's like, it's a new alien race. Just make it look really weird. Or really asymmetrical, and again, I think it has to pass like the silhouette test to be really good. Not too spindly, but you could tell what it is from a distance. Know who to shoot, friend or foe, gray or blue.
Mendon or Mordok? I don't know.
But next week. Daniel, it sounds like we're having a Picard primer.
Yeah, so with the release of the trailer, we have a lot more information to go off of. And in fact, a lot of stuff we're going to need to be fresh for the Picard series. And I assume a lot that we won't even know that we should be fresh for. But based off of the trailer and all of the casting information and stuff that's come out, there's definitely a through line you can start to see. And I think we need to both explore that and maybe offer some advice and recommendations for people to watch so that they're ready. You don't want to watch an episode of Star Trek Picard and not know who Hugh is or what the heck is going on with him. So
that's a good point. So because they will reference previous episodes because it's in the future. Right. You can do that.
Yeah, the whole thing, and I'm only slightly making fun. I don't mean to make fun too much, but Star Trek Discovery was my first Star Trek series. Okay, but okay. So there's a first time fan who Star Trek Picard is their first series. You're like, oh man, whoa!
You jump into the deep end of the pool, bud.
If you like
I hope you know how to swim.
Wait till I tell you about this whole other series.
Boy, I really like Picard. Like, if only there was more. Like, if I could see him in his heydays. Oh, hey, buddy, I got something.
I've got news for you. It's called 7 seasons in a movie.
You guys have a whole prequel series? No. That's not how this works. Yep. That's not how this works at all.
And then we spun off from that because it just was so good.
Picard shows up in this other series to start off with the first episode. It's crazy.
Well, that'll be a lot of fun. So, Daniel, if someone wanted to talk to you about your Picard primer or why the Ferengi logo is the best, where would they find you?
Well, they wouldn't find any agreement with that, but I will certainly argue about which ones are my favorite. You can find me on Twitter at @OneUpDan. That's the number 1, not the word.
And Philip, if someone wanted to talk to you about your fanaticism for the United Federation of Planets, Human, where would they find you?
I always stand every time the anthem's played. You can find me on Twitter at NC Public Servant.
It's NC for United Federation of Planets.
Yes, exactly.
And if someone wanted to talk to me about logos in this galaxy or a galaxy far, far away, they could find me on Twitter, Twitch, or Instagram under username Dr. Sci-Fi, DRSCIFI. Well, I'm just going to be put my logo up and be the podcaster formerly known as Darren. And but I'm Darren Moser.
I'm Daniel Prue.
I'm Klingon Batman.
Nice.
Na podcast. Stranded here, laughing away on City Alpha 3.
Come